Hello YouTube, Vinyl here. I haven't done a long form video like this in a long time. And I kind of just randomly thought of something and I really wanted to make a video on it. So on Twitter, I asked people to list one move from the game that they genuinely think it's completely useless, it serves no purpose, like their character would be better off without it. I got so many responses, I can't actually do them all in one video. I might do a part 2 of this if people actually like this. But for right now, I have picked 12 moves. And I did a lot of labbing with these moves. And of the 12 moves I picked, I think maybe only 4 or 5 of them I would call actually, by definition, useless. I think most of them are just niche use cases where you'll use them every now and then, right? It's not a every game thing, but maybe once every 30 games. Maybe once every 40 games. But they are moves that have a use, and so by definition, they are not useless. And I think knowing the difference and being able to apply obscure moves like that is something that's very strong in every fighting game. Not even just Soulcalibur, in every single fighting game. Doing some weird shit that the opponent has never seen before in a good situation for it, that adds mental stack. That adds layers. That makes them a lot more stressed out about options now. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this. So, the first move on this list is a completely useless move. Like, deadass, completely useless. Cervantes 4B plus K. It is like 50 frames long startup. You can sidestep it literally by mistake without even trying. Like, there's no real reason to use this move. It gives you a weird launcher on hit, but to my knowledge, you can't actually combo off it at all. Hi, hello. Quick post-editing Vinyl here. You do get a combo here. The 1B was real. You can also get critical edge here. The move's still not good. It's like 50 frame startup, 54 frame startup. No tracking at all. This move is still bad. I just wanted to clarify this because I don't want to be disingenuous with what I'm talking about. I went back and I actually practiced this really fast to see if I could do it. So, yeah, anyways, back to the video. You should never use this move. And it being in the game is actually a detriment to Cervantes, because 4-4B plus K is actually a very good move. So the fact that you have the chance of accidentally inputting that, like I just did, is catastrophic. This move being removed from the game would actually be a buff to Cervantes. However, the next move we're going to talk about is Dread Charge A plus B. Going into this, I genuinely thought this move was going to be completely fucking worthless. I didn't think it would serve a purpose. So this is Dread Charge A plus B. About 24-ish frames of startup, plus the Dread Charge entry. And it's around minus 40 on block, if I remember correctly. Minus 30 on block, some insanely absurd double-digit number on block. Anyone who blocks this, they're gonna kill you for free. They are going to do their best fucking button to you. And you have to hold it. So, at first, I really thought this move was gonna be worthless. But then I looked at his 3B combo, and unless there's a new route towards the end of the game's life I never knew, it actually does do more damage than the 3B combo. A decent chunk, too. That did 77. This does 84. For some reason, it does 85 sometimes. Right there. I don't know what causes that. but it does a lot more damage. Obviously, though, you're not gonna ever punish someone with this. So then I started looking at post-GI tools. Once again, I'm not a Cervantes player, but to my understanding, if you are just maxing out damage with Cervantes' A+B lethal hit, this is the combo. I didn't do it right. Hold on. There you go. I'm a fucking idiot. That's the combo, to my understanding, of max damage. I actually can't find this on YouTube. I wanted to make sure. Every time I type in Cervantes lethal hit combos, I only fucking get this one. I only get 2 A+B. So, to my knowledge, that is the highest possible meterless damage you can get off this. And a lethal hit. I messed around with a bunch of manual timing, combos and stuff. But they're inconsistent. They also just outright do less damage. So this actually does more damage. Doing a raw dread charge here, post-GI, instead of the lethal hit, does still do more damage. So the lethal hit combo was 83 damage, and that does actually use dread charge A+B. But if you were to be in a post-GI situation and the enemy re-GI'd you, I am holding guard, and that hit me, that blasted me. So that is actually about 4 or 5 more damage, depending on, you know, if you're lucky and get the 1 extra damage for some reason, than the lethal hit combo. If there is a higher damage lethal hit combo without meter, I don't know of, ignore this. But if not, technically speaking, if you are at 1 health as Cervantes, and you're trying to read a re-GI, technically speaking, this is the best option. By like 3 damage, this is technically the better option. If you are willing to bet your life on it. So, technically, by definition, this move is not useless. Once again, though, if there is a better combo than, you know, what I did, please let me know. In that case, ignore this and let me know, please. But as far as I can tell, a raw dread charge A+B is actually your strongest re-GI button. Without walls, obviously. This doesn't wall combo. This is like mid-stage. No walls, no ring outs. This is just a combo. The next move we're going to be looking at is on Sophitia. This move is so underused. I didn't know this was in the game. I've legitimately never seen this move. This is Sophitia full crouch 3B. That's it. It looks like a generic 2B for most characters. But it's actually worse. It's 16 frames instead of 14 frames. It's -8 on block. And it's only +2 on hit. I tried looking for maybe frame traps where like this would clash with a 2A reliably. I couldn't find one. To my knowledge, this move actually is straight up useless. Like completely, if you get this, it's a miss input levels to useless. Like maybe you messed up Angel Step B or something. I didn't even get it by mistake with Angel Step. No, this move is actually as useless. Yeah, it's just useless. You can't really input it by mistake, I don't think. Just don't use this. This one's nice and short. Just don't use this. This move is bad. Just outright, this is a bad move. This is a bad move. I wish I didn't know about it. Knowing this is actually in the game upsets me, because that is an insanely bad move. That move is super undercooked. The next move I'm going to look at is Zasalamel B-Slide-A. This move has a mini sidestep built in. It is 22 frames. And is minus 14. However, there's two really big problems with this. One, this is a high. This is not a mid. This is a high. It is 0 on hit and counter hit. And it has some good range, right? And you can see it on hit, it pushes them away. So even though it's minus 14, at tip range, maybe you can make it safe, right? Maybe you can kind of play around it as a weird spacing tool. This move on block pushes them to you. This move on block actively pushes them to you. So not only is it slow, it's unsafe, it's a high, it also makes sure every single character in the game can hit you for this. This move has no reason to exist. It really doesn't. It can't ring people out. It's not a combo tool. In fact, if you were to somehow get 3 curses and decide you want to go for B-Slide-A with a curse combo, I'm on the wrong recording. It whiffs. So you could even go for some weird, goofy spacing setup. The only time it would even connect there is at the wall. This move actually serves 0 purpose. I don't know why it's in the game. I was told this is in Soulcalibur 3 as a sidestepping move. And I can see it maybe being good as a sidestep move. But now, speaking of sidestep, it has this, right? It has a little mini built-in step, right? So surely it can't be that bad. Another recording on? I do. Cool. So, this sidestep does not actually do anything. This sidestepping move has 0 evasion to it. I'm not even talking about, like, the Siegfried one where, like, he gets to be privileged as fuck. This does not have any evasion at all. This move outright sucks. I don't know why it was repurposed to a B-Slide-A input. At least as a sidestepping input, you'd have the evasion of the initial sidestep before it. And you can still kind of mimic it like this. But if you're going to sidestep for a whiff punish or something, why would you commit to a bad button like this instead of any other button in your arsenal? So this move actually has no purpose. It doesn't hurt Zasalamel that it exists. You're not going to misinput this by mistake. But this is a legacy move that had its input changed, and it doesn't do anything now. You should never press this. The next character I have is Astaroth, and I actually have 2 for him. I have K-Hold and 1 A-Hold B. Now, K-Hold, I don't need to go into too much detail about. This move is genuinely an alright button. You don't need to ever incorporate it, but there are perks to using it. One being its lethal hit condition, which is the opponent having full soul charge meter. You having access to this might encourage them to burn a bar before you, and that's very strong for Astaroth. Astaroth's biggest counterplay for his soul charge is, besides reversal edging his spin, it's being able to run away and then push him back when he gets in finally. You can waste a lot of his soul charge timer. So, by forcing the opponent to soul charge first, Astaroth can actually take initiative, and that's very strong for him. That's the main reason why K-Hold is not bad. It's also not necessarily an awful post-GI situation, farther enhanced by the opponent having full soul charge meter. But yeah, this really just discourages defensive use of your soul charge. It encourages the opponent to make the first move, thus removing defensive options later for Astaroth to deal with. So that's why K-Hold is not a useless move. I think this move is very far from it. Like I said, you don't ever need to use it. This is not a move you need to use. But there are a lot of case uses where conditioning someone that you're willing to chuck this at them in post-GI and neutral, wherever it may be, will cause them to burn meter a little bit on the risky side, a little bit on the willy-nilly side. Now, we're going to look at Astaroth 1A Hold B. This is a 56 frame low mid. It is a natural combo. You can step the second hit on block. It does 16% guard damage, and it's +8 on block if they, for some reason, don't step it. Now, on paper, I really think this move sucks. Looking at the frame data, this isn't a good move. 56 frame low. It's not a break attack, only the second hit is. And its follow-ups are -18 and -24 if you don't do the vertical one. So, not the best going for it. However, I realized something about this move, and it's the fact that you can kind of do a guard crush setup with this. And I think this actually makes the move pretty strong, because the requirement for the setup in terms of what you need to land is very easy. It's 6B counter hit or 6B hold. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to land 6B counter hit, and then I'm going to do 1AB, 1A hold B. And we're just going to see the damage. So that was a lot of damage. You saw it wasn't natural, though. So, this is a whopping 48 plus 50. That's a lot of fucking damage. That is 98. That's 98 damage off a stray mid counter hit. Of course, the question is, why wouldn't they just get out of it? But because this does so much guard damage, you can actually put them in a situation where they have to accept 98 damage, or they have to accept 48 and then a guard crush. I am doing all the wrong options. There we go. So now, you get to do 48 damage, and you get a combo reset on them from a force block. And there's more to this as well, which actually makes this move's usage even better in this specific situation. Let's say they see what you're doing. They see the 1A, they know you want a guard crush, and they're going to try and tech out. If they tech, they still eat it. It's reduced damage because it doesn't reset itself from the ground hit anymore, but they're still eating 79 damage. And this will catch every single tech direction. This is a fully natural setup. And then, of course, if they guard on their wake up, you get the combo reset. You get a guard crush. But now, on top of this, let's say they're not about to be guard crushed. Let's say they have a good chunk of guard gauge. Or maybe you were off slightly. Your math was wrong, like you were keeping track a little bit. Let's say they barely don't get guard crushed here. You are still +8 in their face. That's a good spot for Astaroth to be in. So I don't think this move is inherently worthless. I do think it requires a niche situation, though. I would never personally go for this unless the guard crush was in play. But if the guard crush is in play here, I really do think this might be one of your best actual options. Like, this is a very strong situation to be in. And even if you don't crush their guard, +8 is scary in front of Astaroth. Point blank, that's really scary. You're kind of at his mercy here. So that's why I actually do not think Astaroth 1A hold B is necessarily worthless. I think it is one of the moves that I talked about earlier. It's a move where it has a very niche use case, but if you know how to properly play around that niche, you can really put people in awkward situations. People, when they see their guard gauge is red, they will panic tech, or they will play dead more, hoping to cause a whiff. 98 stray damage, and then still having Oki to guard crush them? That's pretty good, man. The next character we have is Groh, and I have 2 for Groh, just like Astaroth. I have 2/2 B slide A, and 2B plus K. It's unblockable. And thankfully, I'm pretty knowledgeable on these, because I actually use these very actively, and I especially use the unblockable. I use this offline and online. So I'm going to go over the unblockable first, because it's straightforward and to the point, and then we're going to look at 2/2 B slide A. So Groh's unblockable has one specific setup, and it is off 2/2 B lethal hit. So I have the AI here ready to do 2/2 B and then the unblockable to me. And I am going to try and tech roll out of the unblockable. Separate. You can't tech that knockdown. 2/2 B lethal hit cannot be teched. So then, of course, you can probably just stand up and walk out of the way, right? Nope. This thing will kill you if you stand up at all. Getting up off the ground, you will get blasted. The only way to actually avoid this unblockable is to side roll. So for people who either A, aren't aware of this, or B, really do not like staying on the ground, you will blast them. This is something where you can get most people at least 1 time per set with. And this is a lot of damage. It's not negligible. This absolutely does a lot of damage. That's about half my life there. That's a lot. Off a singular stray mistake, that is really good damage. Groh can take that to the bank. So that is the use of the unblockable. The unblockable does have a use case. It will just vary player to player and their awareness. And the best part of this, though, is let's say they do stand up, you can just cancel. Not say if they roll, you can cancel it when you see them start rolling. So you can kind of fish for this with no real risk. The risk is you're dropping some damage, but you're potentially doubling your damage if it does hit them. So maybe just once per set, check them with it and see if they're aware, see if they're ready for it. A lot of people don't know you can't tech that knockdown. They're just pressing G to try and tech roll you. Okay, so now let's look at Groh 2-2 B Slide A. This move is 18 frames of startup, -4 on block, and +8 on hit. This is one of those weird moves where it kind of goes against the Groh game plan, because a lot of Groh's moves kind of dedicate themselves to getting Groh in. You have 6-6B, 6-6A, 6-6B plus K. Groh really wants to approach you, typically. Right, most of his moves are forward advancing, and they're quick, and they just want to get him in. 2-2 B Slide A is what Zasalamel's B Slide A wanted to be. Or should have been, rather. This is a move where when I throw it at you, I actually want you to block it. I don't want you to get hit by it. And that's because of the very large spacing you get. This thing creates so much space, and with the range it has, it gives Groh a threat range that is much higher than people might think. At this threat range, Groh will typically have 6BB for you, and even then, 6B whiffs compared to this thing's tip range. Or he'll have like a 6-6A, a 6-6B, maybe a raw lightning slash or mid-screen if he's really feeling timing. But Groh is mostly pressuring you with mids or advancing highs. So, having a high that does not advance forward, has so much room to play around, and create space, is a very weird dynamic in Groh's kit that can actually mess with people. For example, this move isn't used that often. This is another one of those moves where it's the one that people don't know. People have never seen this shit before. So when they block it, they're like scratching their head kinda, like what the hell do I do here? So let me try the right recording on. Yeah, there we go. So for example, if I do 2-2 B Slide A from right here, 2A will hit me. But if I space it just even slightly better, it'll whip. Stubbier 2As can actually whip from point blank even. So, because I can make a 2A whip from such awkward ranges, I can just do a 3B here and kill you. This is not a move that you dedicate your neutral on. You should never dedicate your game plan to this. But if someone is a bit more on the mashy side, this is a move to try and tell them, hey, fucking stop. Knock it off, leave me alone. And at the farther ends of spacing, one more time, I want to make sure I'm on the right recording. Nice. So, Groh's 6BB. This move has good chunky range. It's a double hit. Pretty good move. Pretty good move for like spacing, right? But if you space a 2-2 B Slide A and backstep, you can. Why the fuck is the AI wooding me? You can actually step 6B and space it. That's how much room you get here. You can make really far-range blends just outright miss you. So this is the benefit of Groh 2-2 B Slide A. It's a move you want to sprinkle in like seasoning. You don't want to chuck it a lot, but I would never call this move outright useless. I think versus certain player types, certain types of play styles, this move can absolutely dismantle someone's gameplay. And I think it's pretty important to actually keep note of this move for some playstyles. This makes some things a little bit more tolerable for Groh to deal with. You could absolutely go your whole life playing Groh not using this move. But you can find value in this move if you want to actually look for it. So now we're going to look at Kilik 4B plus K, and by extension, Kilik's 4B plus KB. So this move is 26 frame startup, does 46 to 42 damage, depending if you do the full string or not. And it's minus 12 on block, minus 16 on block, and that final hit is minus 14 on block. So immediately, with how slow and how easy it is to navigate this move in neutral, using it as a neutral tool, even a one-off, is kind of out of the question. Like, unlike most of his verticals, this move will not realign, clip people, and give you a free game. Not unless they really go out of their way to throw on it. It's not like his Wall Rising B, which is notorious for being a horizontal in disguise. This move also, obviously, has no real combo potential. So, the main thing we're going to look at here is post-GI. And I was really actually surprised with how good of a tool this is in a post-GI situation. So, what we're going to have here is the Kilik AI is just going to run up and guard impact me, and then do 4B plus KB. And that is all it's going to do, nothing else. If I could not suck. There we go. And even though I'm holding G, it blasts me. However, and this is where it might have some use to it, specifically at closing out a set. Let's say I am very low on health. Let's say I'm at 5%, very low, and you get a guard impact on me. If I block, I lose. Let's say I re-GI you when you GI me. I still lose, because this move is the perfect speed to actually beat out both no guard impact and an instant re-GI. I have to delay my option here to actually counterplay this, which adds a very weird layer of the game when I'm one hit from death. This is actually a very good set closing tool, specifically on a guard impact situation. And on top of that, let's say you get a level 2 guard impact on me. If I re-GI, it will still blast me. And now if I choose to not re-GI you, you get to crush my guard. So, while this move might not be anywhere near one of Kilik's top tiers, I wouldn't even put this in his mid-tier moves. Calling this move useless is kind of wrong. It does have a very niche use case, and I really think in a very, very vacuumed environment, very vacuumed example, this move could win you a set. And, like, it could actually be the right move to press. It beating immediate re-GI timing, and it beating no guard impact at all, on a level 3 is actually quite strong for Kilik. This one we're doing quick. 2B, 6, A plus B hold. Don't use this move, useless. Useless. It's like 60 frames, doesn't catch sidestep. It's not even a break attack. Don't press this fucking button. Unless you're being up on the guy with 1 hour on the game. Don't press this stupid ass button. It's very bad. Alright, next move. Next move. Next we have Nightmare 44BB. I'm gonna be fast at this one, not a bad move. Even slightly. 20% guard damage. If you want to argue semantics, 19%. Guard crushes. If you hold the button, you can go in the stance with plus frames. It is also a launcher. You cannot step the second hit on the guard. And then if I can remember how to put people on grounded. There we go. Also hits grounded, so it can force people to stand up. with a lot of force block opportunities. Very good move. This is a very good move. It is slow, and that's like its main downside, so you have to look for the Oki situation for it. This will kill someone turtling, though. I am someone who holds this button a lot because I like turtling when I play Tira. When I play Groh, I'm a bit more willing to unga bunga. But when I play Tira, I am someone who likes to block more than do anything else. This move frees me up and makes me feel very uncomfortable. If you want to watch me panic, throw this move at me. Very, very good move. Very good move. Absolutely a god move. Not a god move, but very good. It's a very good move. The final move we're going to look at today is Gloomy 4K. This move has very awkward frame data in terms of Soulcalibur because its startup frame is actually 21, breaking the Soulcalibur rule of 2 frame increments. It's -4 on block and +9 on hit. While being +9 on hit is already really strong for Gloomy, another benefit of this is that it actually forces crouch on hit. Not just giving Gloomy insane advantage, but limiting the other player's ability to respond. On top of being +9 and forcing crouch, this move has one of the most unique properties in the entire game. This move both crushes highs and crushes lows. So I am going to get hit by the first 4K here, and then I'm going to mash 2A. This move is only +9 with 21 frames of startup. This means a 12 frame move statistically should blast it. But it doesn't. Next, I'm just going to try and time it manually. I'm going to have Gloomy do a 4K, and I'm going to do an AA. And you'll see right there, it crushes my high as well. You also notice in one of those, I actually got an awkward ground splat. That's because the order of the sequence is that Gloomy will first crush highs, and then crush lows and be considered airborne. This can make it really awkward and tricky to deal with for some characters, and can really throw people off. This move is very, very anti-mash, and this is actually a really good tool to control the neutral as Gloomy, and to control the game pace. If you can condition someone to respect that on hit in the first place, you basically get to use your entire moveset as a mix-up option, because they're going to sit there at -9, letting you chuck whatever you want at them. Very, very strong move. Hey guys, if you liked the video, please leave me some feedback in the comments and let me know what you thought. This has been my first actual content upload in a very long time, so I really hope you guys learned something, and I hope you guys do want to see a part 2. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy talking about Soulcalibur, so let me know. Have a good day.